Hello, I am back with another astrology video, and in this one, I'm going to talk about how to interpret your birth chart if you are new to astrology. I'm here with Buddy, my spiritual cat, so if you hear purring, obviously that's who it is. A birth chart or natal chart is a snapshot of the sky when you were born. So it shows where all the planets were, and it's unique to you and based on your birth date, time, and location. It essentially tells you who you are and the energy that you bring to the world. It's a really great tool if you want to learn more about yourself or really dig into what your full potential is. For me, looking into my birth chart and learning astrology really helped me validate things that I knew were true but maybe thought was wrong about myself or I didn't like, and it also shed some light on some hidden things like gifts and talents that I had that I wasn't fully conscious of. I feel like you can literally study your birth chart probably forever because there is so much information that it can give you. But in this video, I'm gonna go over the basics so that you can get started right now and start to dig into your chart. There are a few great websites that you can go and visit online, plug in your birth date, time, and location to get your birth chart. If you do not have your exact birth time, let me know because I can make a video specifically for you because some of the things that we cover in this video won't be relevant to your chart. Your birth chart is a circular diagram that is divided up into 12 sections. Each of those sections is called a house and it represents a different area of your life, like your home life, your career, relationships, and they're numbered 1 through 12. 1 starts here and then it goes all the way around in a counterclockwise position, ending in 12 right here. Everyone's chart starts with the first house here, the second here, and all of the houses in those same places ending in the 12th here. What changes is the zodiac signs and where the planets are. On the inside of the circular diagram, you'll see the planets, including the sun and the moon, sprinkled in different areas of your chart. They are represented by different symbols, and so that's how you can know which planet is which. Each planet represents a different energy, a different characteristic that you have, and we'll dig into those in a little bit later. Where each planet is located is unique to you, and it is based on the sky when you were born. On the outside of the diagram, you will see the 12 different zodiac signs. Each zodiac sign represents a different energy, and you will find every single zodiac sign in your chart. The zodiac signs influence the different houses and planets in your chart, and where the zodiac signs fall in your birth chart are also unique to you. When looking at your birth chart, it's really helpful to understand what each house represents as a foundation for interpreting your chart. Your first house represents you, your personality, your body, and your appearance. The second house represents your possessions, your finances, and what you value. The third house represents communication, learning style, and your peers or siblings. The fourth house represents your family, home, and ancestry. The fifth house represents fun, romance, hobbies, creative projects, or children. The sixth house represents your day-to-day work, health, and routines. Your seventh house represents close relationships, including business relationships, partnerships, and romantic relationships. The eighth house represents intimacy, joint resources, the metaphysical, and transformation. The ninth house represents travel, higher education, morals, ethics, and philosophy. The 10th house represents your career, your public image, and reputation. The 11th house represents your friendships, social groups, and your community. And the 12th house represents spirituality, the subconscious, and hidden gifts that you may have. In your birth chart, you will see the sun, moon, and planets. Each of these represents a different aspect of yourself, and you'll find each of these located in a specific house. The sun represents your identity, urges, motivations, likes, and dislikes, whereas the moon represents your internal world, your emotions, anything that you're feeling inside. The moon can also show you what helps you feel really secure. Mercury represents how you communicate and how you speak. Venus represents what you attract, including love and money, and how you interact with others. Mars represents your motivation and how you direct your energy. Jupiter represents expansion and where you can find luck and abundance. Saturn represents life lessons, responsibilities, but also rewards when you focus on those responsibilities. And it also might point to where you feel inadequate. Uranus or Uranus represents where you want freedom, where you are a bit unconventional, and where things might change or fluctuate. Neptune represents what inspires you, and it also might point to an area where you will feel confusion or experience illusions. And finally, Pluto represents where you will experience profound transformation. Like I mentioned earlier, each zodiac sign brings a different energy to the houses and the planets. Each zodiac sign is associated with specific energies, and here's a breakdown of how I usually define each zodiac sign by a few keywords. Aries is independent, assertive, and brave. Taurus is loyal, determined, and patient. Gemini is curious, versatile, and intellectual. Cancer is nurturing, sensitive, and emotional. Leo is dramatic, confident, and warm-hearted. Virgo is organized, structured, and meticulous. Libra is balanced, idealistic, and harmonious. Scorpio is deep, intense, and powerful. Sagittarius is optimistic, honest, and adventurous. Capricorn is ambitious, responsible, practical. Aquarius is innovative, unique, and objective. And Pisces is imaginative, compassionate, and dreamy. Your rising sign is the zodiac sign that starts your first house. Your rising sign is your image, like the first impression that you give people and how you approach life. Your rising sign also influences your physical features, so if you look up different people's rising signs, you might find similarities in how they look. As an example, my rising sign is Libra, and I do have an idealistic view of life, and I also approach things in a really balanced and harmonious way. So if you want to learn more about your rising sign, you can research that specific zodiac sign to learn more about your image, the impression that you may give off to people, and how you generally approach and view life. Now that we covered all of the basics, we can put it all together. A good way to think about it is that the planet is what, the sign is how, and the house is where. Let's say, for example, you have Jupiter in Sagittarius in your 11th house. Jupiter is expansion and where you attract luck and abundance. Sagittarius is about being optimistic, honest, and adventurous. And the 11th house is the house of friends, social groups, and your community. You experience expansion, luck, and abundance when you have an optimistic, honest, and adventurous approach to your friendships, social groups, and community. Or maybe you have Pluto in Scorpio in the 7th house. Pluto is profound transformation. Scorpio is deep, intense, and powerful. And the 7th house is the house of close relationships. So to put it all together, you will probably experience profound, deep, intense, powerful transformation in your close relationships throughout your life. Now that you have the keywords for the different houses, the planets, and the zodiac signs, and you have this formula, you could go through your whole entire chart and put a story together based on where all of your placements are. And if you want more resources, or if you'd like a worksheet on how to do this, I have one on my Patreon. The link is down below. You can click that to access it. As you go through your chart, you may notice that there are certain houses that don't have any planets. In that case, you can learn more about those different areas of your life by looking at the zodiac sign, because the zodiac sign that aligns with that house is going to influence the themes of that house. So for example, let's say you have Cancer in your 10th house. Those Cancer themes are going to influence or impact your 10th house, which is your career and your public image and reputation. If you have Cancer in that placement, you might have a career where you are very nurturing, or you may feel very emotionally attached to your career, or your career needs to be really emotionally fulfilling to you. If you have a house and it has more than one zodiac sign in that house, a lot of people say that the first zodiac sign that starts that house is most important, and some people say that both signs are equally important. As you're going through your chart, read and learn about both of those signs and think about that area of your life to get a sense of which one is true for you. Once you feel like you have these basics down, then you can explore the next layer of your chart. You can look at retrogrades, planetary rulers, aspects, and you could even get into predictive astrology. One note on predictive astrology: I believe that we all have free will. We can make any choice that we want. You have autonomy and agency in how you respond to the energy that is going to be experienced. So if you see like, oh man, I have this Saturn placement coming up and it's going to be a really tough time, it's really about your mindset and how you use that energy. So I always suggest when you're doing predictive astrology, use the energy to your benefit. Don't become a victim to that energy. Like I said earlier, I feel like you can explore your birth chart forever. There are so many resources online, so many people you can learn from, and you can really use your intuition. And I highly recommend doing that, because sometimes intuitive information just comes to you as you're looking at your chart, and you should never count that out. If something comes up in your chart and you want me to make a specific video about that, or you have questions, please let me know. I also offer consultations on astrology and human design readings, so reach out. I have a link below if you're interested in that. I hope that this video is helpful for you as you dig into your birth chart. If you have any questions or you want to share anything, please leave it below down in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.